Hello, this is Sandy with Ledoux Designs, getting ready to use my Trinity Stamps again tonight. I hope some of you will join me, but if not, it's okay. I will just keep going. So this is the die set that we're using tonight. It's the same one that we used on Tuesday night, and we made the Slimline card with the Slimline envelope. So the envelope came out like this, and the card like this. So cute, with the gift card holder inside. And that was all the pieces from this, so you can watch that live from Tuesday night if you want to see how that was made. And tonight I thought we would use the rest of the die set so that you could see how the rest of this stuff works and how many more things you can make with the same die set. Hey Cheryl, hey Danny. So we're going to use the same stamps that we used, but we'll use a different one tonight. So last time we used this one. Tonight we're going to use this one, and we're going to use this tag set right here. So this makes a perfect tag for Christmas. Hi Wanda, hi Becky, hi Danny, hey everybody, thank you for joining me. I also thought maybe we should do a little something with the words, so I chose the For You, and I die cut these two reinforcements for the center part right here, so I can show you how each one of those works. We'll make two tags tonight, and so we're going to use this tag right here and some of the accent pieces from the die set. So now that you know what that looks like, and this is called Holiday Hangouts, Trinity Stamps again. I am loving these new Trinity Stamps. I just got them and I've never used them before, so I'm really excited about using them now. So what I did was I cut, hey Mom, I cut 4 of these. We're only going to make 2 tags, but I'll show you why I cut 4. So this is one that I made the other day, and we're going to make this one again. But I remember that on the back of the Copic paper, it bleeds through, and I don't want my tag to look like this when I give it to someone. So we're going to add a second one on the back of it so that I can write on the back. So I'll show you how we're going to put that together. And then we're going to make a second tag. So that's why I have 4 of these cut out. I also cut the For You. The F is a separate letter from the OR. So it does die cut them separately. And the U cuts as one complete word. I have cut 2 of them and glued them together just to make it a bit thicker so it's not so flimsy. So I have those ready. And I have these ready, so these 2 we'll use on one, these 2 we'll use on the other one, so that you can see how each one of them looks. So I've already cut those, so you wouldn't have to watch me cut those. But I have not done my stamping, but I have set it up and got it ready for us, because we are going to be doing coloring tonight. Now, I know we did the greens and the reds the other night, but I thought that we would switch for blue and gold versus green and red, so that it would still be Christmas but be a little bit different. So I went ahead and put my little gnome on here and my tag so that we can stamp that, and I prepared my block with the sentiment and the other ornament, because we'll be using the other ornament for the other tag. So I went ahead and prepared that and got it ready. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to ink it up with Memento ink. There we go. And I lined it up with the stitches at the top and the sides so it wouldn't hang over, because, you know, I just think it'll look more clean that way. Now it will go through the open circle, so the hat is kind of behind the circle, if you will. That came out perfect. I am going to clean my stamp real quick. It only takes a second. because I don't want it to, you know, stain or anything. So we'll just, that's it. That's all we had to do. And then I'm going to take this out. We are going to color this tonight. I'm excited. This one, I really like this one with this little handout. It's so cute. And then the other tag, I'm going to hand stamp the other tag, so I don't need my Misty for that one. So what I was thinking was this one for sure, I want to have, hi Ruby, I want to have that sentiment on there that says Happy Holidays. I will probably be putting that on both of these, but I want to make sure I get that all inked up. I'm going to put that right here. So I'm just going to press, lift, and we're good. So we have that part stamped. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the ornaments on here. And I thought that they would be really cute if they were somewhat hanging, but I don't want to hang them exactly the same. So I'm going to do one up here, kind of like it's hanging this way. And then I'm going to hang one, and you could do so many things with this. So it's just entirely up to you. I'm going to put another one, oh, say about right here. Freehand stamping. Love freehand stamping. Hi, Jenny. And then I'm going to use my sentiment again so that I have my tag all lined up and ready to go, ready to color. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one up just a little bit higher. Maybe we'll put some accent paper down here to sort of show that off. So that is what I want to have stamped on these tags. I think they'll look really cute like that. So we can go ahead and close this up. I cleaned these off, so we're good to go. All right, so we have 2 tags. So I'm going to start by coloring this one first, and then we'll move on from there. So I have already pulled the colors. They're all right here. I know you can kind of see them. We'll talk about the colors as we go. I chose a different skin tone this time because I wanted to mix it up a little bit and have it not be exactly the same as we did before. So I have chosen, let me grab my little stand so we can put them in there, E15, E13, E11, E00, and then E000. So we'll use those colors tonight. And don't worry, if you miss the colors, you can always get them off the YouTube channel. They will be listed in the description, so you can always go back and pick those up anytime that you want. So first we're going to do the skin tone, and I'm going to put the E000 as a base coat on here. It helps when you're doing skin tones. It helps to wet the paper just a little bit before you get rolling. So that is what we're doing with the E000. So we have that on there. I also have R11 to put on the cheeks just because I want them to be a little rosy, but not too rosy. So R11, they'll look really rosy right now, but when we start putting all the other colors in, they won't. So there we go. And I'll start putting these off to the side as we use them. So E15 I'm using as the shadow, and I'm going to do it right here where his nose and his hat are covering his face. Same with this side. And then I'm going to put just a little bit up here because his nose is so big and so cute. And I'm going to do the underside of his nose. like this. And I'm going to put just a little bit on the top where the hat is as well. So top and bottom. And then I'm going to do the underside of all of his fingers. So here and here. And then we're going to do this one. And I'm going to do just that little center of his hand as well. Just getting a little bit of color in there. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for coming to join me tonight. This is E13. We're going to blend E13 in with the 15. He'll be a little bit darker gnome, and that's okay. He just gets a little more sun than the other guy does from Tuesday. We did him a much lighter skin tone. Don't be scared, it'll look pretty dark, but when we get all the other colors on there, it won't look quite as dark as it does. So don't let that scare you if you choose to try the darker colors, because it really will blend together nicely. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. I don't know if you guys are just quiet or if the comments stop coming across, but hi, Lori. So now we're going to switch to our E11. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any questions. I only have one more color after this one, so this particular color that we will be using that more liberally than the last color, because it's the one that is like the true color. So we'll be using just a bit more of that one, leaving just our little highlight area for the last color. I don't have to worry so much about if I go outside of the lines on the skin tone. Thanks, Cheryl. Because all of the rest of this is going to be darker with the exception of his beard, but his beard will be lighter, but it will still be okay. But the hat area or anything like that, I don't have to worry about that so much. And then our last color is E00. And we're just going to go over the whole thing just one quick time, just to blend that all out. Here, I'm going to do it in a back and forth motion. And then I'm going to go over just the meet-up areas so that there's not a line there, because when there's a line there, it just doesn't look quite as right. So we're just going to blend until the line goes away. So anytime you see a line there, just go over just the line area with that lighter color, and you can get that, you can usually get that line to go away, fade into the background. Unless you want it textured, and then you might leave it there. Hi, Susan. Thanks for popping in. Okay, so we have his little skin tone done. We'll work on his beard next. I've only chosen 3 colors for that. This way. Is that the way you wanted me to move over? I hope. Okay, so W3, W1, and W00 are the colors that I have for his beard. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to follow the movement of the beard so it kind of goes down into this little point. So when I do my brush strokes, tiny, tiny brush strokes, I'm going to start curving them in that same direction so that we can stay with the direction of his beard. Like in the center, it'll kind of be straight down, and then this side will go in a curve toward, and you can kind of see that with the artist drawn lines right here that kind of signify they're curving this way and this way. So I just try to follow what the artist intended. If they give them to me, I like to use them. kind of gives them whatever they imagined it to look like. You're welcome, no problem. Some of these are okay if you start them in the middle of the picture, because we're going to be using a few other colors to mix in with it, and we want it to look like hair, so your hair kind of goes everywhere. So it's okay to mix that up a bit. Okay, so we have that one started. Now, whenever I choose my next color, I usually try to do my brush strokes in between where I did the last one. Now, I don't do them slow, because the slower you do it, the more concentrated they are. So I just kind of do them fast. So if it happens to go over one of the last ones, it's okay. But I try to focus on doing it in between. I mean, it won't be a deal breaker if I don't do it in between, but I do try to keep them in between. I just think it kind of helps it fill in his beard a bit. Hi, darling. And then the last one that I have is W00, and it looks like I might need just a little bit more in here. The cutest little bugs from Pink and Maine. I bet they are. Their stuff is so cute. So this one, I'm kind of doing it thicker so that it covers more area, just keeping with that same direction. Because this is our last color, and this is the one I want to blend these together. But I don't want to wash them out. So I'm kind of doing it sort of quick and with that one-time motion, and then that's it. So I like how his beard came out. I think I'm okay with that. I almost feel like it needs just a teeny bit more. So I'm going to grab the W2 because it's kind of in between the 3 and the 1. Not kind of, it really is. And I'm going to try and put a few brush strokes in between his W3 and W1 because I feel like it needs to be filled in just a little bit more. So I'm just adding those in there for a little bit more texture. Also, I think I'm going to put some a little bit around his arm to show shadow. So normally I don't go back and add to unless I feel like it just really needs it, and I just kind of felt like it needed a little bit more. I wish I knew which little bugs you were stamping from Pink and Maine. I don't think I have any bugs from them. I'm going to go over it one more time with the W00 just to make sure that that W2 is not too dark compared to the rest of it so that it stands out. He is so cute. He is. I really like this gnome. I'm going to go in with my W1 and just kind of build a bit of shadow underneath his cheeks and his nose. It won't be real prominent, but I feel like it needs to be, it needs to have just a little bit of extra shadow up underneath there. So we'll just put that in there. And that's it. I think it'll stand out more when we put the other stuff together. It's called Buzz. I'm glad you typed that in because now I can go look at it after the live. So I have gold and blue and black because, you know, I feel like his shoes really need to be black. So I'm going to work on the shoes first. So I'm going to work with this T9. I like to make this part of the sole darker, so I feel like it makes it stand out, and it looks like he has like a little bit of a heel on his shoe. It's sort of a trick of the eye, and I really like the way that looks. And then on the side of his sole, add just a bit in there as well. And we'll finish that up with the next color. Oh, thank you so much. You messaged me the picture. Awesome. Okay, so forgot to mention which ones we're using. So I chose T this time because I felt like it wouldn't be as bold as the C would be, and since we're using gold, I thought maybe the tonal color would be better, so I chose T9, 7, 6, and 5. So we just used 9, and now we're going to use 7. So now I'm going to do along the base of that shoe to show that curve. And I'm going to work this a little bit more. But I'm not going to go on to the sole part just yet. I think I'm going to go with the next color. So I want it to stand out just a little bit more than that. Also the same with these sides right here, like I'm not going to finish them up until I have the next color. All right, so T6 is next, and T5 will be our highlight. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in those sides of the shoes with this, and then I'm going to start doing this part. And then I'm also going to do a little bit around the outside and then fill in some of that with this one. I'm going to leave those highlight areas, the parts I want to be really light. And then I'm going to start building this one up just like I did the other one, leaving my little highlight area. And then I'm going to work on this sole. So T5 is the last color in this combination. So I'm going to do it with the back and forth motion. Kind of blend those together. And then we're going to do it down here. And look, see that little heel? It looks so cute. I like it like that. So then we're going to do this one. Kind of that back and forth motion. I have to do it twice to kind of get rid of those lines that I was talking about earlier. So cute. What ink do you recommend for stamping? I use Memento Tuxedo Black. And sometimes I use Memento Desert Sand if I feel like it needs to have no lines. This is T6, and I'm going to do just the tops of these shoes, and I feel like I only need 2 colors with this one, so I'm just using the same blacks so they blend nicely together. And then T5. So I stick with the Memento. I've used VersaFine, but you have to let that dry or it bleeds. So I found that this one is just the easiest one to use because it works every time. I'm going to put a little bit of black inside this ornament. So since we have the black out, I want to go ahead and use it. So I think I'll make that gold up there. So I think for the black, I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe I'll just do this little skinny one right here. I don't want to put a whole lot of black in here, but we definitely need to have some, I think. So it'll tie the 2 colors together. So for now, I think I'm just going to go with those 2, and if I need to come back in and do more, I will. Maybe I should do the inside of these and the bottom of these. Yeah, let's do that. So the inside of these half circles, we won't be using 4 colors with this, I can tell you that. I have Stamps of Life, and the ink pad came off the base. So, oh no. I've heard that you can use ink on 3. I have some ink on 3, but I haven't tried it. Honestly, I'm usually just afraid to switch when something works. It's hard to switch to something new. If it works, if it's not broke, why mess with it? You know? So this is T7, which kind of still keeps everything pretty dark. So I don't want to use too much of that one, because it's going to keep everything pretty dark still. I mean, there's a difference between the colors, but it's not a lot, so I don't want to put too much of this one on there. There we go. So I think because the next part will be the highlight, that we'll just jump and put 5 instead of using the 6. Then it will be lighter. So I'm just going to kind of do this little pouncy thing in there to fill that in the center. It'll kind of blend, but it'll also keep that center part pretty light. Same thing here. Just going to use that little bit of pouncing going on. I find that's a little bit easier to do. And there we go. So now we have all of our black colors put in here. Hey, Sandra. So I can put those away. So next I want to work on blue and gold. So I think I'm going to put him all in blue because I feel like they just look cute when you mix them together, when you match them together. So this, we're going to start with B37. We're going to hop to B26, then back to B34, and then to B52. B52 is one of my favorite markers. It's one of those magical ones that kind of changes what the color of the image looks like when you use it. So we'll get this really nice darker blue color, and then when we add the 52, it'll lighten it up, and you'll see what I mean here in a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and start with this little guy. So this is B37. It's definitely a pretty dark blue. But I didn't want to make it all the way to 39 because we're using gold with this. So I want to kind of keep those colors going together. Hey, Peggy. So I'm going to go ahead and go up this side just a little bit. Same thing on this one. I feel like the light's going to be coming this way, so a lot of this backside is going to be dark. So I am going to come down this back side with this marker and just do some brush strokes out towards the center. Also, I believe this is a fold in the hat. And same thing here and here. And then there's one right here that I want to go ahead and include. And then a little bit along this tip right here. I think we'll put some right here too, but I'm going to build that in a little bit like it's a dip so that we get a little bit of motion out of that hat. So I'm going to come down here and start on his arms, and where his beard is over his arm, I'm going to add some shadow there. And then same thing here. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on his pants. They're very shadowed, so we won't even be using the lightest color on them because they're definitely shadowed behind everything. So I'm not going to do the ornament right now because I haven't decided what colors to do them. I want to just work on the gnome first, and then we'll go from there. So this is B26. This is not going to be my true color. This is one that's going to brighten it all up and make it look like a lighter blue. Almost like a royal blue. This is kind of like a, it's called cobalt blue, but to me it looks like a royal blue. And I like it, but I'm going to tone that down with the next two colors. So don't worry about that. It's not going to be royal blue because that's, to me, doesn't really feel like the Christmassy blue. I feel like it needs to be toned down a bit for Christmassy blue. But again, that is sincerely a personal preference. You can make whatever kind of blue you want for your Christmas stuff. But for me, I like to have it a little bit more on a different shade. Plus, it gives you guys the opportunity to see me mix the colors. So that's kind of awesome. I like to not do the same thing all the time so you guys can see a bunch of different mixes. But I've been working on some of my favorite color combinations. And so I wanted to share some of that with you guys tonight. I appreciate how you guys talk us through your steps and explain why I learned so much that way. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I do. That I love to teach, so I love to talk about it. It's the way I learn too, so that's the way I teach it. So now this color is going to be, like if I just put it right here, you'll see it's way toned down from what the other color is. So I am going to make sure when I extend out that I also go over this royal blue-ish color. So going over it and extending out. And this is going to bring that color down a bit because we just put this color right over top. And I'm just going to touch that a couple times until I get that to blend really smoothly, which is exactly what I want, is that really smooth blend. So that is why I go over it a couple of times so you can see the blend happen. So I don't know how much of the Copic markers that you guys know about them, but the blending isn't necessarily what you do, it's what the ink does. So when you put that ink on the paper, as soon as you put it on there, it doesn't just stop right there. Like it keeps working with the other molecules. That's why we say we wet the paper. That's why people say they wet the paper first, because it allows for the movement of that ink to keep going once you add the next color, and it helps with your blending. But you're really not doing all the blending. You're putting it on the paper so that the ink can blend together, kind of do its job. And if you know how to lay it down and you know how to keep the paper wet, then you'll get beautiful results. So I don't know if you can tell on camera really how much that toned down that blue, but it really did. So here's my favorite color, and I call this a magic color. This one and RV42 are two of my favorite magic colors because these will change everything. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go over this area so you can start seeing how light that is. Now again, this is a different tone, so I want to go over the other color, but real quickly. If you spend too much time on it, you'll wash it out. So then this is going to need a little bit of work because it didn't blend right away. So you just got to work through the transition area to make sure you get that blend real nice. And then you get this beautiful color. Sometimes let it sit for a second so it can dry just a little bit, and then blend it out, and then it will blend beautifully. So we're going to add this one up here. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to follow it all the way along the top of his hat. This one also has a lot of colorless blender, so it's going to push the ink around and give you those really nice highlights. So let me hold that up a little bit closer so you guys can really see that change in those colors. While they're different shades on that hat, they still blend really, really nice. And since it's a different color, I'm just going to go over the pants color I have on there just to get that additional color in there. But it won't change it. And then I'm going to work over this transition period right here a little bit. Get that smooth color. And then you can see all of the highlight. Like it really stands out. So look at how cute he is. He's even cute in blue. That turned out very nicely, as I wanted it to. So I am excited about that. We will come back to the blues, so I'm going to just set them over there for now because we're going to put blue in our ornament. We're going to go to gold, and I would love to say that normally I use Y28, Y26, and then I add YR23. And then Y21. But tonight we're going to leave the YR23 out, and I'll tell you why. Because look at my marker. Can you see that right there? It has like some crystallization going on, which means my marker is contaminated. And I don't want to contaminate anything else with it. I don't know why that happened, but there's a little bit of growth on it. So I'm not going to use this marker anymore. I've already ordered a new one. But if you see that on yours, some people say, oh, just change the nib and refill it. But once it shows up on your nib like that, it means the whole marker is contaminated. So tonight we're going to roll with these 3 instead of 4 and hope that everything turns out great. So this is Y28. I'm going to start with this little piece right here because I feel like this little piece would be the best at being gold. So this first one, this is actually called gold, but it doesn't really look gold. It kind of looks brown. But when you mix it with the other colors, then you get that golden color that you're looking for. So it helps to have this one included. So I don't know how many people actually use that color, but it is really helpful. So I would want this area right here to be blue, and then probably gold, blue, gold, blue, gold. So we'll just do that. So this is going to be blue, this is going to be gold. I'm just going to touch it so I remember. Then blue, gold, blue, gold, blue. And so I just touched it with the dot so I'll know exactly which ones so I don't mess them up. And then I'm going to work on this one. So up in here, there wouldn't be any light in there. So we're going to go ahead and fill that in with this darkest color. Right there. But this is round, so I definitely want to come down the sides to give that rounded feel of this image. So I will be doing down the sides all the way around it because it is a circle. So this one over here, and then that's it. See, I almost went for that bottom one, but then I realized my dot wasn't in there. Now this Y26, this is mustard yellow, but it's the one that helps enhance this one into gold. So watch how this works. I go over top of the other color and extend out. And because this is almost like a gold color, it makes that darker one look like a rustic gold. And it really starts to bring that color together for you. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that on camera. So over top of the darker one, that's what gives you your shadow, but also brightens up that deep dark color into a golden color. These two are the best when you're using gold. You can mix other colors with it depending on how gold you want it to look, or you know, how gold you don't want it to look, or how brass you want it to look. You can change the colors up, but this is going to give a fairly good impression of gold for us tonight. So since I only have 3 colors, I'm going to make sure that I have a border down here at the bottom. Otherwise my next color is really, really light, and I want to make sure that it doesn't look funny. I was just evening out both sides, so I have the color going around to the same point. This one down here, kind of the same as up here. I'm going to go a little bit more on the bottom on this one, just to bring that together. Well, I'm liking this blue and gold. I really am. And this was a last minute change tonight. I really was going to use green and red again, but then I felt like if the same people were here tonight, they would want to see something different than what we did on Tuesday night. So you can see how that color is really, really light. That yellow is really, really light, but it just brings that golden together. So when I do this, I now have that dot right in the center. So I'm going to work it with this marker because this marker's got a lot of colorless blenders, so it'll wash out that dot. I probably shouldn't have put the dot right there, smack in the middle, but did you see how I made that disappear? We're going to have to do the same thing with the dot down here and the one on the bottom, but I think we'll be okay. Normally, I don't put the dot in the darkest color. I usually put it in the lightest color, but I was pretty sure I could wash out that dot. So you can see it on there now, right there. So we're just going to work that spot with this marker that has more colorless blender in it, and it's just going to wash that spot right out. So now you can't even see that it was ever there before. So doing the same thing with this, I'm going to go back and forth, first to fill it in, and then to wash this out. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And like I said, when the paper's wet, it's going to make the molecules move. So that is why it washes out that color for us. So I can show you up close that you can no longer see those dots, which works out perfectly. It does look like my stamp missed a small spot, so right here. So I'm going to fill that in with a multi-liner. These are actually the Copic multi-liners. This is 0.25. I really like these. You can color with them because they're water and Copic proof. So they're pretty amazing. All right, so now we're going to go back to blue so we can do the rest. So same blue colors we did before, 37, 26, 34, and 52, all in the B color family. And we're going to start working on the remaining pieces that are left. So I definitely want a bit of it to look curved on the side. So I'm going to start along the edge and then kind of just get less and less as I go. I'm also going to make a little bit of shadow underneath this piece that's attached. I'm going to do just each side of these little bitty ones. I don't want it to blend in too much with the black, so I'm just going to put a little bit in there for now, and we'll do a lot more with the lighter colors because I feel like this one kind of blends in with the black a little bit, so I don't want too much of it on there. And now we're going to work on this one. So this is going to be rounded on this side, so I'm going to work on this curve. I want to come in a bit further, so I'm going to do just a little bit more. Same with this one along the bottom. And then I think I'm going to go across the top just because I really need that separator. And then I'm going to do just the bottom lip of each one of these. That way we have enough blue in there to work with the other colors. And then these ones down here, I'm going to start up in the corner. And I'm going to go down, but not all the way. It is a very bottom of the bulb, so normally it would be very, very dark, but I'm going to do that with the next color, just so I can clear that up a bit. All right, here we go. This is B26, and it's next. So I'm just going to be extending out from where I put the last color. Remember, this is that really bold blue. So when you look at that compared to that, you can tell they're not the same. But they will be when we get done. So I'm going to use this one to go along the bottom and extend out the sides a little bit. It's still pretty dark, so I don't want to put too much in there. So we'll just wait for the next color. but I definitely wanted to get that in there a bit. So I'm going to start going down into the second one so I can make sure I get this color in there pretty good. There we go. And then this one, I'm going to go along the top and then start building these in. Probably won't have the lightest color down here on the bottom. I mean, we'll have to put it down there because it changes the tone, but it won't be a major part of that color. So next we have B34. And remember, with B34, we're going to go over everything so that we can get that color to come out. So that it washes it to a lighter color. The last part will come together when we put the next color on there. So now it looks darker than that. And it's all because we haven't used that magic color yet. I like to call it magic because it changes everything so much. But that's just my own personal description of the magic color. But again, we have to go over everything because we're changing the tone of these. Otherwise, we're going to have really royal towards the edge and then darker and then lighter, and it'll just kind of mess it all up. So we don't want to have any mess ups. This one all the way across. And it's the underside, so I filled the whole thing in. Then we're going to take this B52 and we're going to go again over all of it real quick. And then we're going to work this transition period, this transition point right here so it blends nicely. And now we have a nice highlight on the top of our bulb. And we're going to do the same thing with these. We're going to go over the whole thing. And then we're just going to work those little bottom pieces. So over the whole thing, then work this bottom, the whole thing. Once you learn your markers, you'll know which ones behave which way. I know that I can lighten my blue with this marker, so I focused right there to give me a much better highlight. Once you play with your markers a bit more, you will really know how to do that as well. You just start learning those markers and how they behave, how each color behaves. All of them behave just slightly different, so you just have to play with them to learn. There we go. I needed that more consistent on the side. Just felt like it looked better that way. And then this one, we don't want to lighten any of this. We just want to get that blue in there just a tad bit. So we went over that in one stroke. So this is so cute. Oh my gosh. So I really like this. I'm going to grab a piece of paper because I want to do the outside of this tag with my marker. And I think what I'm going to use is, let's see, let's play with the colors and decide which one we want to put on the outside. So it could be this one, but then that doesn't really match. Or it could be this one. I kind of like this one. Maybe we'll use this one. So this is Y21. Let's check 26 real quick, because 26 might be a good one too. Oh, I think 26 is the one I like better. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to very lightly go around the stitched area of this. That's why I put a piece of paper underneath it. And I'm just going to go along this edge right here, kind of staying below or outside of the stitches so that I can get that an exact outline on the outside. Yes, 26. Agreed. Yay. Great minds think alike. So I'm not even getting it on the paper, so I guess I didn't really need to put a piece of paper here, but I have done this before where I press the marker down and then and put the color all over my desk. So I thought I should have it here just in case. I feel like this makes it all stand out just a little bit better. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. How darling is that? I love it. Okay, so for this one, when you flip it over, it's hard to like write a message on there because the ink has gone through. So we are going to add a second coat, but I feel like we need the gold around the backside as well. So we're going to use, this is one of the only times other than backgrounds that I'll use the chisel, just because it's a little bit faster to do it that way. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. See, I missed that time and made a big splotch that would have been on my desk. Flipping this one. Flipping it again. Here we go.
Definitely not right there.
Just like that. Around this edge, and this edge. And that gets the back looking like the front. So now what I'm going to do is I'll put my Barely Art glue, grab it on the back of this one so we can stick them together. And then I'm just going to place them together. They were cut with the same die, so they should line up absolutely perfectly, and you shouldn't be able to see much of a difference between the two. And then I'm going to use my press pop I have right here to just press these together. And you can do it on either side, doesn't matter. But this is also going to make my tag a little thicker so that, quiet that man in the back. Can you hear it? There's actually 3 boys here right now, and none of them are Cooper. And they came in the kitchen for something to drink, so they're gone now, so they won't be as loud. Okay, so for this particular one, I'm going to use this reinforcement. I made it in blue. I figured it would match. And we're just going to put it on both sides so that when you put your ribbon through there, it doesn't tear the hole. So this is one of the dies that comes with the set. I love that it gives me a reinforcement. I have some little like albums and stuff. Dale. Hey, can you keep it down out there? Sorry, guys. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add this one. But what I was saying is if you have some notebooks where you have hole punches, you could use these to reinforce them. So that's another use for this die set that I really like. It's very, very helpful, because who wants to buy the sticker ones when you have your own right there? Poor Dale. I don't know who was out there in the kitchen, but they sure were making a lot of noise. Okay, so now we have this, it goes on the back and the front. So we have this very reinforced, it's not flimsy, it's very strong. I love it. And then I'm going to save the for you for the next card, or tag. So I have one tag. I will get some ribbon after we finish the other one. So we put ornaments on this one. We're going to color those ornaments. I think I might do the same colors, but instead of doing like with this one, we had more blue than gold. I think we're going to go with more gold than blue. Poor Dale. Everybody feels sorry for Dale. Okay. So we're going to use the Y28 again. And we're going to see, now this is a circle. It's like an open loop, so we're not going to color any of that right now. I think I'm going to start with this area right here, because I want this large one to be the gold. because I want this to be more gold than blue. And then I'm going to skip the little scallop looks, and I'm going to put this in here. And I'm going to fill in the little pieces by the side. Then I'll do every other one. So that'll be blue. This will be gold. That'll be blue. This will be gold. There we go. And I'm going to do them the same. I think they'll look really cute the same. So I'm going to go ahead and get this color in here real quick. So we're going to do it pretty quick. So normally when I color a little bit faster just to get that done. But when I'm coloring with you guys, I slow it down a bit so I can talk about all the things that I'm doing. But I've been practicing on coloring faster only because I've been doing those speed videos, and the program I'm using only gives me 30 minutes, and then I have to speed it up. And if it's more than like 18 minutes or so, when you speed it up, then you have to cut and splice because it's too long. It's a big challenge. So I'm working on it, you guys. I'm working on it. I really, when I color for myself, I really color slow. I'm a slow colorist. There we go. We're going to do this one. I'm not blending this one quite as much as the last one, just so it has a little bit of a different look. I feel like if you don't blend as well, you end up getting those lines that you can see a little bit, and it gives a little bit of texture to what you're doing. I have my nephews and my husband here. They've been here all week. My brother had a procedure, and I went and picked them up last weekend, so they've been here. So they're 15 and 12. And then Cooper's been here during the day. So it's been a very male-filled house this week. No girls, just boys and me. So, yeah. It's been a bit crazy. They've been really great, though. Easy to have. Would definitely do it again. Definitely keeps my house a little more livelier, less quiet. There we go. And I think they look really pretty. I like it already, and I haven't even finished it yet. So this one, Y21, like we talked about before, I'm just going to go back and forth to blend that out a bit. I don't want to wash out all those lines, so I'm going to focus more on the center part only. And I'm not going to spend too much time on there because I don't want it to wash out any of that depth I have. There we go. I'm liking it. My house is always that. I'm the only girl in the house of 3. Oh, Darlene, I feel it. I feel it this week. It's not bad. When they're your boys, they love their mamas. So their boys are nice. Especially around the ages these boys are. My boy, he liked me a lot more than my daughter did at that age. Of course, I see her a lot more now that she's older, but when she was young, whew, I could have took 10 boys compared to the one girl. The reason you ride. There you go. Exactly. But how great is that? That sounds super fun to me. So on this blue one, I'm going to leave off the 37. And maybe we'll get a lighter blue. So I'm going to do the 26, 34, 52. So let's see what we get. We might as well switch it up just a teeny bit. So starting at these top ones right here, I'm going to do like I did before. I like to curve them, like putting the depth in the corner. And then I just think it makes them look so much different than what they intended. So I like switching it up sometimes. See how that makes them all of a sudden look rounded compared to these triangles. Again, that's a personal preference. You can certainly do it if you want to try it. If you don't, you do not have to. This time, instead of doing top and bottom, I'm doing side to side on these to, again, just to give it a little bit different look than what we have with the other one. I'm going to go all the way along that part. I'm going to skip a little bit over here because I feel like there's a bit of reflection on that side. I think the artist was trying to tell us that, so there we go. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. These stamps are super fun, and this die, I'm telling you, I probably wouldn't, like, I didn't really do slimline cards because I never had an envelope to do it with, but I got this one die from them that looks like a cell phone, and it's a mini slimline die. Maybe we'll do that another time. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably never going to make that because I don't have any envelopes to put that in. And then I found this die set on their site, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. And it turned out that I loved the way this one worked so much that I don't mind at all making the envelopes. So I can't wait to do more mini slimline cards. So I can make my own envelopes now. I mean, I had the envelope punch board and stuff like that, but I just never got it out to do it. But I loved that die set. You have a die to make envelopes too? Isn't it great? I love it. Now that I'm not die cutting, make and takes, you know, like every day and all day, I don't mind doing a few die cuts now and then. But when I was making, you know, a couple thousand of them, I was like, I don't want to get that die cut machine out again today. So now I get to play with all those dies, so I'm kind of excited about that. All right, so now we're filling in the top to leave in just a center part for the highlight color. Coming in from each side just a little bit further so we can keep that shine right there in the middle. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Going to turn it so I can do this side. Nothing wrong with turning it. If you need to, you should turn your project if it makes it easier for you. I got a package in the mail today of new stamp sets. I'm so excited about them. I can't even tell you how excited I am. Three of the stamp sets that came in were from a previous release that sold out so fast I didn't get to get them, and I was so sad about it. But when I went to buy the newest release, because I liked it a whole lot as well, they were back in stock. So I got to get them today. If you guys want to see them, just let me know and I'll show you what I got today at the end of this video. It was very exciting. I was so excited when I went to the mailbox to put some stuff in that I'm shipping out to someone else. And I was like, oh, that's my Cece's design box. I'm so excited. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be there today. Use the Crafter Companion rotating clipboard to color with. Oh, that's interesting. So that you can rotate it around. I love coloring on glass. I don't know what it is about the glass, but ever since I got a glass mat, something about the coloring on a glass mat is amazing to me. So I love coloring on the glass mat. This is the new Glassboard Studios Galaxy glass mat. It's so pretty. I love it. It has purple on it, blue, and stars, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love it. But I'm telling you, I missed it when I didn't have a glass mat to color on. Hi, Vicky. Almost done. Last step on this one. And then I think because this has so much color in it, that I might just do a little bit along the side of these letters to kind of enhance this, how this happy is. I don't generally do this, so I don't really know which side you're technically supposed to put it on. But mine are going on this side. And then I'll do in there, a little bit underneath here. And I'm going to do it on my holiday as well. So I'm just trying to stay on the right side of it. And then that way I just get a little bit of color in here, which kind of makes me happy. Every now and then I like to do this. It just adds just a teeny bit. Oh, you have the Tim Holtz glass one? I did too before the Glassboard Studios, but the Tim Holtz one, it's smaller. This one is like 18 by 24, I think, or something like that. So the glass mat is really big. So this one, I'm going to leave the outsides alone so you can see the difference when we get done on what it looks like if we have the outside colored and or not. This one, I'm going to put the back side on there. And then we're going to grab some ribbon as well so we can make it a full tag. This is the one that I pre-cut. They line up so well. Flip that over. There we go. What would be pretty is some of that crystal clear spectrum sparkle around the ornaments. I could do that. I have that actually. I think it is called, is it this? This is crystal clear, and this is a Spectrum Noir marker, so I'm assuming that's what you meant. So mine's a little overzealous, so it gets all excited about like a ton of ink coming out. Do you want it over the whole thing? Over the whole ornament? Or just over part of it? I'll lay this down while you're thinking about that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different multi-liner, which is a 0.5. And I'm going to enhance this line right here just to make it a tad bit darker. I feel like it will just look nice with a little bit thicker line. Just because it doesn't stand out quite as well with this one. I wanted to make it just a little bit thicker. There we go. And I think it stands out just a little bit more. Just Oh, around it, not on it. Ooh, that's a great idea. That's not something I normally would do. So yay, thank you for the idea. Let's try it and see what happens. Let me just outline this real quick. And then we'll try it. I just felt like it wasn't as bold as the rest of it was. So it felt like it needed just a little bit more color on there. Okay, let's go sparkly around the outside of these ornaments. This is really going to make the whole thing kind of sparkly. It might be hard to see on camera, but I'll hold it up and move it around so you can see it. I picked up a little bit of black on that one. And then I kind of feel like maybe I'll just put a little bit around this sentiment too. Why not? You can put as much of this stuff as you want. I'll put a little bit in here too. Just make it stand out. Yeah. So let's see if I can move it to see it, if you guys can see it. Probably not. Sometimes I can. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I saw it for a second. You guys can't see it, but I can. Maybe if I turn the light off of me a little bit, maybe we'll be able to see it a little better. It's very sparkly. I wish you guys could see it. I can't make it sparkle. Probably can't see it at all. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. I got it. I got it. You see it? Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, it stands out when you see it for real. Okay, these are the other, this is the other little tag holder. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on both sides so you can see how each one looks. And it's really whatever you prefer. So this one is flat at the top, so it lines up with the top of the tag. And then when you flip it over, you do the same thing on this side. Right there. I got it, didn't I? Or you could see it. Then this one goes on this side. And then we did the For You, which is these letters right here. And I'm probably going to put the sparkly on them after I put them on here. But I definitely want to use them. I think they're really handy. And this Barely Art glue is perfect for this. So if you don't have Barely Art glue and you would like to have Barely Art glue, you can definitely get it from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I know they have some in stock right now, regular and refills. So then this goes on there like that. And then the whole word you. So there's with love and for you. So you could do it either way you want. I know that I'll generally be using these tags for my kids or nephews or grandbaby or whatever. So I just put for you like this. And then just to make it all fancy, we'll use the sparkly on top of the letters. I bet you'll be able to see them. I bet you'll be able to see this one when I hold it up. And I double layered these so they stick up a little bit more so I can get them just on the words and not on the paper underneath. So that's kind of neat too. There we go. See them sparkle? So we have this tag. And we have this tag. and I feel like they need to have a little bit of bling. So let me grab, I think I have some, I want to say I thought I had some Trinity Stamps bling, but I don't know where it is. Hold 1 second, please. Let me pull out some bling. Pretty sure I have some here. Don't know where it is. Don't you hate it when you want something and you can't find it? Well, I do have other bling, but I really wanted to use theirs. Let me check one more spot real quick, and then if I can't find it, I will switch to something else. But I definitely want to use it. Oh my gosh, I should tell you guys what else I got from them. So cool. I got circle shaker card pockets. Does that make sense? I kind of felt like I said that a million different ways. I found them. There they are. So here they are. Let me zoom out just a little bit if I can get my camera to do it. I'm telling you. Oh, there I go. You see how big my mat was? I don't need to be out that far. So I think the yellow actually will look the best. So these are the rainbow glossy glitter enamel dots. I thought they were really pretty. So I'm going to put the medium one, if I can pick it up. And I feel like the blues are not quite right. Maybe the blue is better. Yeah, I kind of like the blue. Let's do the blue. I think the blue is gonna work. So let's put a little one here. And we'll put that's the big one. This is the medium one. We'll put the medium one here and the tiny one at the top. And I almost think these look awesome on here. I like them. Now they really look bubbly. How cute are these? You like them? I'm so glad. I love these little, I think they're really neat. I wonder, I could put these right here. It fits perfect. I'm gonna have to get me some more of these. I wonder if they have other colors. I haven't checked that out yet, so I don't know if they have other colors, but I do like my tags with the bubbles, with the sparkly bubbles on them. Now, I don't know if you guys know how to tie a ribbon on a package like this, or how to loop it through just to make it just hang off if you need it to. So I found some white ribbon real quick, and I normally cut them just like this. So this one has some tape over it, so I'm gonna have to cut the edge off, so I'm gonna scoot it down just a little bit. I usually cut it at an angle like that are monster eyes. I have some monster eyes in Doodlebug. And then what you do is you stick both of the ends through here. And then you grab them through the top of this. So you can pull them, and then you have that tied like this. And if you want it to be like this, then you have to take the top. I'll show you how to do it the other way with the other tag. So you would take both and come in from the back. And once you have them both through there, then you reach in through this loop right here. You grab those and pull them through the loop. And when you pull it down like that, that's when you get that look on the front. So if you want that look on the front, you got to put it through the back. And if you want it that look on the back and this look on the front, then you put it through the front. So that's kind of how that works. And then you have the little tags to go. I hope you guys like those. Look how cute they are. Oh my goodness. You know, the only thing we're missing is white gel pen. We need some white gel pen on here. Because I just think white gel pen makes everything look so cute. And I might just put a little bit like right here, right here. Just a little bit in there. We'll just make it fancy enough. So here they are. Here's our final 2 tags. Imagine the possibilities. You could use these tags to make anything you want. I like both of the tops. I can't decide which one I like better. The cards we made yesterday, the card we made on Tuesday, and the envelope. All these things out of this die set and these stamps. So this is called the Mini Envelope Builder Slimline die set, and this is called Holiday Hangout. And these are so cute. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I know I have not posted what we're doing next week. And that is because I'm going to be traveling somewhere, and I think I will use something that they have so that you'll get something new. So I will let you know when that happens. And then here, for those who want to stay, that's all I have for the gnomes tonight. I will upload this to, Darlene, I will upload this video to YouTube just like the other ones. So if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel. And if you want to see speed coloring videos, check out YouTube. And then for those who wanted to see what I got in the mail today, stick around because I'm about to show you what we got. But thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. This is what I got. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. I waited forever for this. Look at this. Look at the Jack Skellington. And this is Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Aren't those cute? Good night, Mom. And then I also got from their new release the barbecue kids because they're so cute. And then look at these flamingos. I couldn't resist the flamingos. And then of course, who can't do Scooby-Doo? So I got the whole Scooby-Doo set because I mean this is so cute. So anyway, be looking forward to seeing some of these pop up in the quick videos in the future. This guy, I love this one. These have been sold out for a while, and this one sold out right after it released as well. So I got to pick these up and then the new release. So yay, I'm so excited about those. I can't wait to do them. I also got my new release from the Sassy Club. So I will have Emotions to do next from Inside Out 2. So I'll have those coming up soon, and I'll give you a quick sneak peek on those because I have a couple of those right here that I colored today. So they're going to go by fast, so make sure you're watching. Here we go. You ready? Anger, anxiety, sadness, fear. Those are the only ones I have done right now. But I have the whole set, so it'll be super fun to make something amazing out of those. So those will be coming on speed videos as well, so make sure you watch for that. Yes, your dragons. Yes, Darlene. Yes, yes, yes. I will be adding those soon to the YouTube videos and stuff, but I was thinking I might do a little bit more of a tutorial than a speed coloring on the dragons that I drew. So, yeah, so there's lots to come in the future. Be sure you like and subscribe so you can definitely keep up with all of that. And thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Take care. Good night.